I'm the mad Rastaman with love, you know. I love dogs, cats.
People?
Human is a little problem, but I still love them.
We're not shopping for ourselves. That is the problem with the darker lid. Yeah. I look like #1 shoplifter. Okay, so we're now out on a little shopping trip to the supermarket, and there's a few charity shops around and about, so we thought we'll see what they've got today. Well, we're on our way now to our first stop of the day, which is Turre, which is a little town or a little village just outside of Mojacar, which is the main kind of coastal town here. So we're going the back way because it's nice and scenic, and this is kind of new territory for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Turre has to offer.
So I think there's 3 charity shops, 1 second-hand store here. So we'll see what they've got. Okay, so first disappointment of the day, hopefully the only disappointment of the day, the District Lions Club charity shop is closed. So we can't even look in the window because the blinds are down, so we'll have to try that another day. But anyway, on to the next one. The next one is just on the left down there. You can see there's like a little A board out, so it's good because it looks like it's open, so that's a good sign. So we're here outside the cancer charity here in Turre. It's open, which is always a good start. So let's go and see what they've got. Let's have a little look. Some bigger pictures. Let's have a look here. Oh, that's like obviously France or somewhere, but it reminds me of Norfolk Lavender at Heacham near where we used to live. Someone's obviously spent hours doing that one. It's nice. Very effective when it's lit up. Obviously handmade, but a little bit scratched and things. Yeah. From Wales, I think that says. I can't pull it too much closer because it's plugged in, but I'll have the whole display down. But
yeah, that's lovely.
These are probably a little bit too far gone, but the actual design looks quite vintage. Vintage St. Michael, but I think probably a little bit too bashed.
Yeah,
for what we're looking for.
They've had too many dinners on them.
Little jug. For €2.
Yeah, whether he's got some age, I don't know. Probably.
Nothing on the bottom. So he's quite nice. And then the one next to him is quite nice. For €1, quite a nice little shape to the spout. Quite a nice glaze. I mean, nothing special.
The interesting thing that I'm not so keen on is this line.
Maybe it's been done in a mould and stuck together. Whoops. I wonder if that's the right lid. I think that's a different lid. Made in England. Very vintage design, but I'm not sure that is the correct.
No, the colour's slightly different.
Slightly different. Right. This one caught my eye at the back. So it must be 3 pieces for 4. So a Spanish piece.
Spanish.
I think quite a nice little flat lid. So you've got the coffee pot. It's an unusual combination of things. Coffee pot, teapot, and a sugar bowl with no lid. That's a shame. This is cool. I think I saw this last time I was in here, so it's been here for a while. It looks more 80s perhaps from the frame. I wonder if there's a date on the back of it. No, it doesn't seem to be a date. But the frame looks 80s, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wonder where that's.
I don't know where it is. We'd have to Google image it and see where it is. It's obviously some kind of sculpture somewhere, but quite a nice piece for a £5.
You've got a real friend next to you.
Oh, is this the store detective?
Yeah, it must be.
People were obviously into microwave cooking in a big way, weren't they? It's not good for us.
They were revolutionary when they came out.
You can cook all of this in this microwave.
think they were the air fryer of the day.
Probably. So there'll be lots of air fryer books here in a few years' time. So we quite like looking for gardening books and things, don't we? Like houseplant books, as opposed to cooking. Let's have a look. Containers, dog grooming, baby care. There's all sorts here, actually. The woman's own family garden.
I mean, if we ever find a mid-century home interior design book, that would be the...
That's like the Holy Grail.
Yeah,
So
that
this is
would
from
be
the
pretty special.
first published in 1978. But it's more about outdoor gardening, really. Not quite as desirable, although, I mean, this picture's so 70s.
Yeah, they're just the images are really cool, actually. But
Even this sketch with these little 1960s, 70s concrete blocks, which are really popular here in Spain, actually. We quite like those. So, maybe not quite as desirable.
quite as nice.
So this stuff in the counter is always the high value stuff, usually. Not so much today. Belts, sunglasses, magnets. Some nice jewellery here. Some little teak bangles and things. Maybe that's like copper or brass. You're the expert on that. What you seem to have an eye for the jewellery. Yeah, so nothing in there today. There's a couple of jugs that were like a possible, not 100%. I mean, they're so cheap, like €2, €3, so not much money. But at the same time, we don't just want to buy stuff for the sake of it. But we were just saying to the lady in there, it's so beautifully looked after in there, really clean. All the clothes are really clean and laundered. So a nice one to go and look round. So we'll pop back. So I think we can walk to the next one. It's not very far at all. So there's a charity shop and a Segunda Manor right next door. Okay, so Paws Patas, another little local charity. So let's see what they've got today. So that is quite nice. I like that kind of three-tone with the darker lid.
Yeah.
You will get a good price on eBay for that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I love the
It's a
shape
nice
of it as
shape,
well.
isn't it?
Love the fact it's got this kind of dark lid.
Little
It
details that I love that this, just the little tip on the top of the handle is nice.
Well, presumably, I don't know how they make this, but
Ah.
presumably they might
Oh yeah.
dip it. I don't know, would they?
Yeah, well, it
So
would
would that
have
mean that was why that
been
was
all this colour probably.
Then they dip the top
Then
in the
they
white.
dip the white and then dip the bottom.
Yeah, so then that, but it's, yeah, nice little detail. So it would be nice with a whole set of cups and
And
things.
how much is that?
So that one is €8. So I think possibly that's a little bit too much for us, but it's got a nice little Denby mark on there, made in England. So that caught my eye as soon as we walked in the door, actually.
Would this be removing the bamboo ban?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the bamboo ban. Well, it's chunky bamboo. We don't have much chunky. So this is €20. I don't know what period this is from. Probably from the 70s or 80s because of this glass being quite angular and smoky. It looks in good condition to me. I don't want to move it too much because of this glass top.
Yeah, it's in nice condition.
You can imagine it with one of those big, well, with one of the big fat lava lamps on. Would look pretty spectacular, wouldn't it? Or a nice big vase or something. We'll have a think about that as we wander around. Just spotted these little cups. I don't think they're old, but they've got that nice little dipped top. Have a look at the little, yeah, maybe it's like a fiery kind of glaze, isn't it, on those? And they're all very different, so they must have kind of held it like that and gone. No kind of marks on it at all, but
Which is quite cute.
probably modern, but quite nice. Okay, so nothing in there except bamboo, which I'm slightly on a bamboo ban. Bamboo table with lovely smoky glass top. We're not sure whether it's just part of a conservatory set and whether it's nice enough on its own, whether it's worth the €20. I think maybe if it was 10 or something, you might think we could sell it for 30 or 40 pounds, you know. So we'll think about that while we're just looking in the next shop, which very conveniently is right here. beautiful Macintosh sideboard. I mean, the quality of it, you can just tell inside. All the shelves are curved. All the drawers glide beautifully. You know it's a kind of quality piece. So you've got your cutlery drawer here and the price tag. What do you think? I mean, that's not a bad price for it,
No,
to be fair.
it's a big piece.
A really big piece.
Yeah.
And in beautiful
Great
condition.
condition, yeah.
So 3 drawers and then a lovely little cupboard with, again, shelves inside. If only we had space in the van and if we didn't have a sideboard already at home, then if we can justify spending $1,100 on a sideboard at the moment anyway. But yeah, beautiful piece.
We'd have to have this one for ourselves.
Yeah,
and
we
sell
would
the other
sell
one.
the other one. Yeah, that's true. But it's just the handles are beautiful. Everything just feels nice, you know, and it's just some of these sideboards that are obviously cheaper brands and things, they just, you can tell immediately, even just the joints on the drawers, everything's quality. Yeah, that's a stunner. This has been covered up and protected because you don't want anyone to just run a scratch along the top of it, because that would be terrible. But the reason we bought the little one that we have at home is because it was short, because we only had a small space, didn't we, in the UK, whereas we've now got the space for it. So you could have a 6 to 7 foot one, because a lot of them are quite big. So it was quite unusual to get a 4.5, 5 foot one, really. Food for thought, but
It's got a lovely shine. The lights catch
you just
it
don't often
right now.
see this kind of quality and condition, really. And I didn't expect to see it today in Turre. Look at that. It's quite cool with the sails and things, actually. The way it's done with that kind of 3D look. 45, I think. So we've bought several a bit like this. Sunflowers, palm trees, chicken. But this boat one is quite cool, really. And again, it's got that same top on it, look. That same bracket. Wow. It's nice to meet David in this little store. He's been here for 10 years now, selling and trading. Really interesting to chat to him, and he's got a real eclectic mixture of stuff. He's got a beautiful sideboard, as you will have seen. A Macintosh sideboard from the 60s, 70s, and it is in perfect condition. We're not shopping for ourselves. That is the problem. We're shopping to
We'll keep telling
resell.
ourselves.
So anyway, so we'll think about this sideboard. That will go into the back of our mind, and when we get home, we'll have a look. But interesting to wander around, but we've got more places to go to, so let's head off. Okay, so this is a little complex that we found when we first moved to Spain and had to rent an apartment. And there's 2 or 3 charity shops here, including one run by Rastaman, who is hilarious. So we'll introduce you to him later on, hopefully.
Very nice.
Yeah, they are. They seem in quite good condition.
They've just been made by somebody.
Let's see what the other one's like.
Yeah, like a little maker's mark. They're nice.
Quite nice.
No chips. I have to say, from a personal point of view, this is the most chaotic charity shop I've ever been to.
It's slightly stressful in here because it's always packed out with
Clothes,
people.
homewares on the top. They even have homewares down on the bottom in some shelves, so it's not a pleasant shopping experience.
This is what I was saying. Someone's handiwork. Is that €1 or €7?
It's about 7, I think. It's a bit flat.
It was quite cool when it was like behind the shelf there. You know?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's always stressful in there.
Okay,
always.
so we did have a little pickup, some lovely little candle holders, but it gets your heart rate going in there. It's like people pushing and shoving. They're looking at the clothes, trying to get what you want, and it's very stressful. It's the tiniest little shop, full of stuff, but you know, it's worth it. 2 nice little candle holders. You can imagine those are some nice dinner candles. Quite nice.
I think it might be more of a new.
It's got its little plastic tag on. So nothing in that one. One more to try. Let's go see Rastaman. So here we are. It looks to me like they've had a bit of a sort out. Seems fairly good, fairly solid. I am on a little bit of a bamboo furniture ban because I've bought so much. But depending on how much it is, I can't resist it. So we'll ask him. But it feels good. We're slightly unravelling at the back, which is not great. But again, you might be able to fiddle around with it or take that little bit off. So we'll see what
Depends how much it is.
it's like a fiver, maybe. So there's a great vibe going on today. Lots of reggae music playing, which unfortunately YouTube is not keen on. So you'll have to imagine the shopping environment here with Rastaman. So the shop is usually quite chaotic. You can only just get in the door really. So very occasionally we find some good items. I thought that was quite interesting, this kind of faux bamboo picture frame. Not good enough though, I don't think, not quite. And he's always got his little dog, sometimes two dogs I think, and this little dog loves all of the attention that my cameraman is giving him. Terry loves the little dog. Meanwhile, I'm rooting around in the back to try and find some cool thrifts. So we've bought quite a lot of pottery from him actually, and in the back here, amongst all of this random stuff, we found this lovely jug. No prices on anything really in here, so you just have to kind of ask the question once you've found the things you quite like. So these were quite fun. Some little olive picks with little faces on and little bowler hats. I'm not sure whether people would buy second-hand picks, I'm not sure. And the little container's quite cool, like a barrel. So we thought that was quite cool. Again, no prices, but we didn't perhaps love that enough to ask. And then we found this really lovely little studio pottery piece with this lovely thick drip glaze, which is ideal as a little bud vase, just something decorative. So we'll see what the prices are on those.
Yay.
Welcome to our sweaty little city with love and unity, non-violence. Rastafari, one God, one aim, one king. Blessing and love, prosperity.
Oh, namaste, namaste.
Yes.
That is a blessing, you know.
Muchas gracias.
We have been here lots of times and
man.
always
There's
we
always
get
a little bargain.
Everyone had to come here because I am mad. I'm the mad Rastaman with love, you know. I love dogs, cats.
people.
Human is a little problem, but I still love them.
And you do a good deal
Yeah,
and it's
man.
raising money for
Yeah,
charity here,
Raising
so,
money for animals. So.
Animals.
so it's
Yeah.
all good. And the sun is shining
That's
always.
one of my rescue over there, and the other one is it. Chica,
okay.
come have a sit on the tune. Come on the tune.
Hola.
She's going to get on the, she won't sit on the throne today. Oh, that's great. Well, we will bring some money, €10.
Yeah, man, take it there whenever I see me.
10 euros?
Yeah, man.
€10, I think is the deal.
Okay. I'll have a good thing from you guys.
I'll
10
pop you
euros.
some money another
I cannot go wrong with you guys, you know.
So, I look like #1 shoplifter, but I just stored them in my pockets because I didn't have a bag from the other shop. So we bought these couple of cool little candlestick holders, which are really nice. And we're always drawn to neutrals, browns, and all this pottery. So it's quite nice to have a bit of blue. So we've got 2 of those for €4, so that's a pretty good price. And then this cute little vase, little bud vase with a really nice glaze. And I quite like the little top as well, just with the brown around, so that's quite nice. So that one and this one were €5 for the 2. So this is obviously just a studio pottery piece. He was telling us the significance of this little swirl on the top. I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but it was something to do with fertility, and so maybe. So that's quite nice with, you know, a few little flowers in, or even just to use. And then of course, this little chair for €10. So because we've been in there before, we're going to drop the €10 in because he's cash only. And we've only got about €3 left.
Bit of entertainment from Rastaman,
Rastaman,
as always.
He's always fun. He always says hello. He always remembers you.
Always great
always
vibes
says,
in there. The music's playing. There was Bob Marley, you know, and
unfortunately, YouTube won't allow us to play all the music, so you don't get all of the vibe. But while we're shopping, you can imagine it.
one love.
It's when you're on holiday, it's in the
One
Caribbean.
love.
It's that kind of vibe going on.
Let's get together.
So it's all good. So we'll get this back to the car, and then we'll go and have some lunch. We're full up in the boot, so we'll have to try and get this on the back seat. So let's have a look. If it will just squeeze in, I think it probably will. Look at that, perfect. So not much today, but a few cool little pieces, some nice little bits of studio pottery which can be sold out at really good prices, and some little, I think these are probably my favourite. I love the colour blue, and these little candlestick holders look really handmade. And then this lovely wicker chair for like €10 or something. So if every time you go out you get a few bits, that's all you need to do really. Then gradually you build up that collection of things for your store. So every time we go out, if we get a few pieces, we're happy. So let's get it all inside, get it washed and cleaned and ready to sell. Well, thanks for watching today. Hopefully you enjoyed our little adventure on the Spanish coast. More thrifting to come, so subscribe if you've not already. And we love to hear your comments and to hear what maybe your favourite find of the video was. So keep in touch. See you soon.